Welcome to the second edition of the Haskell News. I'm Marcus Bernowski. And an update on the NAIA probation, Dallas Rudd has more on the story.
Haskell Indian Nations University Athletics program has been put on probation until 2014 through the NAIA. Many students and alumni didn't even know that Haskell had been under investigation. In a recent interview done with President Redmond, we asked how long the Haskell had been under investigation and when this all had started.
May of 2010, the allegations, I guess, were made. In August, or when they came in, I guess, and started doing the inquiry, and then August of 2011 was when the report came out.
Okay. We also asked President Redmond what information he could give us over the probation and why this is happening.
Two things primarily. One was the legitimacy of ACT scores. When I say scores, I don't mean, you know, all of them. I mean, there was actually two students, and it happened to be two student athletes. And the information basically that was provided, and that what we found out, we did our own internal investigation as well, was that somehow or another the scores were, I guess, changed. Somebody had done some work on them. So if you looked at the ACT paper, and even the investigator from the IG looked at it at first glance, and nobody, you know, it looked real. So basically what had happened, that had been submitted. The thing that kind of, I guess, caught the attention was that there was like the student had turned in one score, and then another one had been submitted that was a little bit higher. In other words, the new score made the student eligible. Now that was the thing that was sort of suspect.
With students being a month into class, the annual Welcome Back Powwow took place at Haskell. Here is Stan Lovato with the story.
Haskell's annual Welcome Back Powwow took place for the 2012 school year with a great turnout of students, dancers, as well as spectators. As the night proceeded, there was also other tribal dances displayed, such as the Apache Crown Dancers, and also a smoke dancer showing his skills. With 2012 school year in session, I asked a few students how they enjoyed the powwow as well as the school year.
Meeting different dancers and just being able to partake in another year of Haskell's Welcome Back Powwow, and just to meet new people.
My name is Koi Kashi from Chinle, Arizona. I'm liking this powwow. It's cool. It's cool to be around this whole environment. You know, it makes me feel like I'm back home. Come out here, get some food, some Navajo tacos, eat good, watch some good dancing. Everything just works out here, you know?
And let me tell you something, having the best time of my life here at Haskell. And it's pretty awesome. I think anybody watching this, shout out to Sullivan. Hi Sullivan! Anybody who's watching this, and if you're native, you should totally come here to Haskell.
At the end of the night, the student giveaway would be the final event on the agenda, as students would scramble for supplies, ending the Welcome Back Powwow.
We have an update on the enrollment story Haskell reporter Rulon Mariano did in the previous newscast. In an interview with President Redmond, he acknowledged that combining continuing and new students was a mistake and that the problem was not going to happen again. The Haskell School of Education is on track to be nationally certified. I talked with the Education Department to find out more. The Haskell School of Education is trying to become nationally certified, and if they succeed, they will be the first Native American college to do so.
Well, one of the huge things that's going on the end of next month, October 28th through the 31st, is the NCATE accreditation, which is the National Council for Accreditation of Teacher Education. And this is very huge to the Haskell campus.
This visit that we're getting ready to have on our campus for 3 days is supposed to culminate, it's supposed to end with a report that they will give to our president, Mr. Redman, to let them know a decision that they are going to recommend about whether or not we get accredited for our program. We're expecting a big group of people to come on our campus, and we really want to provide you some information so that you will be prepared.
First and foremost, with the School of Education, one of our mission statement is developing Native leaders who are critical thinkers, reflective practitioners, high achievers, and caring leaders for tomorrow's learners. That's our mission statement.
And so we're hoping that everyone, whenever you see these students come by and visit with you about what's going on with accreditation, we hope you have the open heart and the open mind to listen and to hopefully learn, because this is something that will be beneficial to Haskell.
Have student write-ups from staff gotten worse this year? Here's Rulon Ray Mariano with more.
Here at Haskell University, it seems as though students' main complaints are unnecessary write-ups. I was able to speak to 2 students about their incidences.
Last week I got written up for my sink being dirty. It was ridiculous. They literally showed me a picture of this sink that looked pretty normal, and they pointed out the toothpaste stains on it. And they're trying to give me 10 hours of community service for that. I ended up just paying them $5 fine. And then yesterday they came in trying to give me a write-up for our missing screen on our door, our windows, because they've been doing the air conditioning units, and they took them out, and I don't know where they placed them. So it was our fault, apparently, that the people who came in misplaced our screens. And it was really upsetting, and I had to talk to them for a couple hours to get that off my account. First offense is 10 hours of community service. The second offense is $5, and I decided just to pay $5 instead of doing 10 hours of community service, because that's a lot more time than just $5.
There were about 5 of us hanging out one day, and it was really windy, and we saw a street sign that was moving around, and 2 people decided that they really were going to pull it down, and I still didn't think that they were going to be able to do it, and one of them did. And as soon as that happened, I just realized that it was like the worst mistake, and one of us had to pay a $50 fine and do 20 hours of community service on top of that. And plus we had to petition to re-enter housing, which was all fine, but we all paid $50 and all of us worked on our community service, and the sign still isn't up. So I was just wondering where that money went to, because the sign isn't fixed. It's not there anymore. And our $50, they did not tell us where it was going.
I was able to speak to the head of housing, Jim Tucker, and he explained that he is aware of students' complaints towards the issue, and that he states that the procedure has changed. The first offense is a warning, second offense is a write-up, and student conduct board proceeds from there. So if you are getting written up, make sure that it is a warning and you are aware of what you did wrong. I'm Rulon Ray Mariano from Haskell News.
With the 2012 presidential election coming up, Lucretia Lovato asks students across campus who they hope to see win the election.
Hopefully the current president, Barack Obama. I think it's best for him to have probably best for the whole country to have a president in there for 8 years. I think it's kind of hard on the country if we continually have a new president every 4 years, because it almost seems like nothing will get done if we have a new president again who then brings in his own ideas and will change everything up. So it won't really seem like anything gets done.
The candidates really, I'm not really impressed
I know it's not going to be popular with many people, but I do not intend to vote for Barack Obama this year.
The first step to getting your voice heard is to register. Students were given the opportunity to register at 2 locations on campus. First, Curtis Hall during lunch, and then at the local campus snack bar later in the afternoon.
So there's this website called nativevote.org, and it's really convenient whether you're a first-time voter or whether you're already registered in your state to vote. It gives you deadlines for each state, last days to submit absentee ballots. You can also register and get an account through Native Vote, and it will send you text messages and reminder emails on important dates and upcoming deadlines.
Haskell students voiced how important the Native American vote is.
I find it very important that everyone votes. It's kind of like a duty to everyone. It's a privilege, but I think everyone should take advantage of it.
Individual vote is important as well as the Native American vote because our population is so small that we need to account for, especially when it comes to our president. And we have that right. We need to exercise that right, our right to vote.
Yes, I do plan on voting, and I plan on voting because every vote counts, and I don't want to be one of the people who ends up complaining that so-and-so got elected and I didn't do my part.
Register deadlines are fast approaching. The presidential election will be held November 6, 2012.
Haskell was host to Mohawk poet Maurice Kenny. Kenny visited Lawrence for a reading at the University of Kansas and also made a trip to Haskell to visit with the students.
Moccasin, moccasin, listen, listen, moccasin, moccasin, circle, circle, dance, dance, drums, drums, pound, pound, rattles, rattle, sing, sing. Wind howls like a wolf on the hill, thunder, thunder, shake, shake. Winds sing in the cold air, moccasin, moccasin, move, move. Wind howls, wind sings. Leaves fall in the frost, apples ripen in the frost, wolves seek lairs in the frost, snow falls, hills rise, sun sets, sun sets. Moccasin, 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 circle, circle, dance, dance.
On September 19, 2012, student activities took about 30 students to a Kansas City Royals game versus the Chicago White Sox. Some students traveled by bus, while others had their own transportation. The bus ride was smooth and students enjoyed the scenery traveling to Kansas City, Missouri. Arriving at Kauffman Stadium, students were told to meet up at Gate B after the game. For some students, this was their first time to a Royals game and enjoyed how the stadium looked. Once inside, students set off to the concession stand to get something to eat. Waiting for the game to start, students enjoyed each other's company, and around 7 o'clock, the Kansas City Royals took the field. In the 3rd inning, the Royals made a home run. Towards the end of the 8th inning, the Royals made 2 home runs that won them the game, and the final score was 3-0. After the game, Haskell students headed to the bus and returned to campus. Haskell students Bobby Crowfeather and Sierra Tubles had this to say about the trip.
I had a blast. I think it was probably one of the best trips I've had since coming to Haskell. The trip there was, again, it was eventful. The game was amazing, and of course all the Haskell students there making as much noise as we could. That was really welcomed. But yeah, we had a great time. I would recommend all Haskell students go to a game and also to step by and see the Student Activities Office. They've got tons of fun stuff for us to do. So yeah, I would go again. You would go again, right?
Yes, I would.
And we're going to go to the zoo. And Disney World if they ever offer that.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Marcus Bernowski. Onward Haskell.